Hey everyone, welcome back. I am currently growing more tired and more delusional as I record audio, so what better time than the present to record another voiceover? This video, I had so much fun with it. So much fun. This is actually a newer one. I have an older one coming out soon as well that's a bit similar, that I'm equally as excited about, if not more. And it's a similar style, but I love them equally. Maybe I love the other one a little bit more, but it's fine. Equally, close enough. And it's kind of like a little cottage house in Windenburg, but it has a little flower farm out the side. And I imagine that the sim who lives here, maybe they're a florist and sell flowers from their property, or they could sell edible flowers to gourmet kitchens and things. Either way, it's a gorgeous little cottage with a cute little farm out the side. And I had so much fun making it. I did have to stop halfway through because I was watching Doctor Who and Amy and Rory died, so I did have to go have a little cry about that one. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen Doctor Who. Probably should have said spoilers before, but it's fine. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. I really love British television. I think it's probably the peak of comedy and just entertainment in general. Like reality TV, like American reality TV, it's good, it's funny, it's a bit same, but British television, infinitely better. The UK version of Drag Race is the best version of Drag Race. I don't know why, but it is just so much funnier. It's probably just me, but I think it's hilarious. I also included with this build a little like kind of glass room, greenhouse kind of room. I tend to put that in a lot of builds, mostly because I'm obsessed with it. I love the little popped out glass room, and I think it was really fitting for this, especially because it ends up kind of looking out into the flower garden, which when the flowers are in bloom, obviously I think it would look so beautiful, and I would be thrilled to live here. It's very cottagey, very cutesy. I put quite a bit of greenery around actually, and it's not really something I would normally build, although it's starting to become my go-to for building. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I did copy kind of a photo I found on Pinterest of a real home that looked like this, because Pinterest is my go-to when it comes for building, and I probably rely on it a little bit too much, but I love looking at homes on Pinterest and then recreating them in The Sims and pretending I live there, or living vicariously through my sim and making her live in them. I just think it's so much fun. I can't be the only one that does that though. Like, I'm surely there's other people that do that, because it's not really that weird. Maybe it is, I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, the interior is pretty cramped actually. It's a tiny home. It's beautiful though, in my opinion. In my expert opinion. I built it, so I'm a little bit biased. So I did fiddle around with lights a little bit, because I honestly wasn't sure what I wanted, and none of them really suited the kind of cottagey look I was going for. But I didn't want to use the candles because it seemed a little bit dramatic to put candles in all the rooms. I did put a few like little candles around, I think, but I didn't want to use them as the primary lighting. I also included a lot of cozy little seating areas and just a lot of like cozy items in general. It ended up feeling a little bit like a hoarder's home in the end. Not completely, but maybe they're like on the verge, because it had a lot of clutter, which I think's alright. It looked pretty cute and I had a lot of fun doing it, but it's definitely verging on hoarder home. Like, you get a few newspaper rugs in here, maybe some newspaper wallpaper, and a few like cracks in the walls, and it's gonna start to feel a lot more hoardery. Ooh, maybe put a few crates in, a few boxes, a load of clutter. Yeah, that's... Maybe I'll make a hoarder's home, just for fun. I don't know how practical it would be, or how playable. Probably not very playable at all, but it could be interesting. Speaking of hoarders, I heard the most ridiculous stories about hoarders. I was watching, I think it's... Oh, I have no idea. Oh, my mind just blanked. It was a YouTube channel, The Brew, or just Brew. And they were talking about hoarders and how some of them have like dead bodies in their houses and they just don't know for years and years until they die because there's so much stuff in there that they have no way of finding it. And it just gets buried. A lot of animal carcasses, apparently. Someone killed a man and let his carcass go all yucky in the house, covered with rubbish. Or the smell would be, oh, putrid. Like, I don't even want to imagine it. Disgraceful. It's disgusting. No thank you. Anyway, I really struggled with the little coffee table here because I just want a little round coffee table that's low to the ground that isn't the tiny living one because that looked too modern. But this, I just sized this one down. I haven't play tested, I'm sorry. But it should work. Maybe. You can always just delete it. It's not that important, I guess. I guess it could... You could live without a coffee table. I could have always moved the furniture out a little bit more. That would have made sense. But not really anything I do makes sense, so I didn't. I also really love the cats and dogs lamp that's got like the stained glass on it. Oh, we used to have a lamp like that when I was little. It looked way fancier than that. And they are my favourite thing ever. They're like boho stained glass lamps and I'm obsessed with them. If they aren't the primary lighting in my house when I'm older, then what am I even doing? Like, I'm going to be mad at myself. I did manage to fit quite a few homey items in here. I think I got a chess table in somewhere, possibly outside in the garden actually. And I included a desk and a computer. All the essentials for your Sims, obviously. I think every wall is pretty much covered in something. Whether it be a photo or just some decor, a door, curtains. I did put a lot of things in, but I think it looks kind of fun. It suits the overall aesthetic of the house, which I guess would be like hoarder chic, if you like. Either way, I think it's cute. I like the hoarder chic look. I also really wanted an open kitchen because I think that looks much nicer, but I think it is more of kind of a modern thing to have the kitchen open up to the rest of the house. So I ended up closing it off to suit the style of the house a bit more because, you know, architecture, we like to be accurate sometimes, not really, not very often at all actually. But I thought it was nice and it meant I could fit these cabinets in better, which is always nice. We love a cabinet. Anyway, I put so many things in here, like, I'm sorry. I should have play tested this because there is a lot of just kind of junk lying around. I think, no, never mind. I thought I put like a usable attic up the top, but I don't think I did anymore. The best thing about the attics is putting the season's decorations box up there because it's possibly one of my favourite items because I love adding little lights onto the houses, but it's really annoying to just kind of chuck it into a room, so I always put it in either a spare room or like a junk room, under the stairs maybe. Ooh, a Harry Potter cupboard. Or the office, just somewhere where you won't like really see it, because I don't like going into the build mode when I'm actually playing because it has to load and that's just too much commitment. It doesn't even take that long, I just don't like doing it. So I try to accommodate for that, and my foolish needs. I also put a lot of flowers, a lot of landscaping. I've been having a lot of fun with landscaping lately. I think it's just really fun. I like it. It's very therapeutic. I love terrain painting. I don't like when my terrain painting deletes all the time. I think that's a bit rude, especially because I put so much effort into it. And then it just deletes on me. I'm like, no, this is not okay. But it does. It happens. Thanks, EA. That's lovely. Anyway, we are on to the little flower garden now. And I'm not sure if I did this before. I did. Before I uploaded this to the gallery, I did go through and put in some flower plants. I had a whole row of roses and then 3 rows of various other flowers and then 2 rows of kind of herbs and basic vegetables. I think I put some potatoes, some garlic, maybe some onions. No, I think it was just potatoes, garlic, herbs, maybe some carrots. There might be a pomegranate tree in there somewhere, because that way you can use the herbs and things on your meals, which I think is kind of cute, and the potatoes as fertilizer, which is what I usually do. They kind of make the most sense as fertilizer. I know you can pretty much use anything, but to me they just seem, I don't know why they seem the most legit, but they are. It's just how it be. I also used a lot of romantic garden stuff, plants, because they are my favourite. I think they look so beautiful, especially when you use like a combination of all of them in just the white and green. Oh, I love it so much. I'd love a romantic garden in my own home. I think that would be lovely, and I would be very content with that. I'd be very content living in this little house. I just love it. I love Windenburg. I think it possibly is one of my favourite worlds. Windenburg and Brindleton Bay are the best worlds in the game. I think I definitely use Brindleton Bay the most. And by the most, I mean I do. I use it all the time. I don't think I really use any other world. Maybe the base game worlds. I always forget about the holiday worlds. Batu kind of seems like a hidden world, like when you used to go through caves and things and show up there. That's kind of how that feels to me. It doesn't really feel like an actual playable world other than that. I rarely use Salvadorada. I don't think I've ever used it actually. Or maybe once. I did play through Strangerville the other day. Oh, that was actually really fun. It went by too quickly though. I think they could have had different missions or something, because it took me like an hour to complete the whole thing, and I didn't even cheat. And it took me an hour, and I was like, oh, well, that was fun. Now what? And now there's not really anything else to do in the game. I think it would be cool if they had maybe different missions and things you could take on, kind of like the Star Wars pack, how they give you different tasks and you have to go complete them, and I think that's kind of fun. I think they definitely could have done something like that with Strangerville that would have made the playability a bit more interesting. However, they didn't, so that's fine. We love that. It does have some beautiful build stuff though, so I'm not completely mad. I'm not really mad at all. I'm content. I usually only buy the packs for the build stuff anyway, which is a bit ridiculous, but what can I say? I like building, as you can tell, I suppose. So we are getting close to the end of the build. I'm just kind of fine-tuning it at the moment. I did go through afterwards and change a few little things, and obviously add in the plants and just any other like little finishing touches, made sure things just looked alright, because sometimes I don't notice them until I go into the screenshots and I'm like, oh, that thing's wrong. Usually it's something floating above a surface where I've raised it up and I've raised it way too high. So I tend to go through and fix those things up before uploading it to the gallery. So if you would like to download this, it is currently up on my gallery, which will be in the description, along with any other important links that you may want. If you liked this video, please leave a comment or subscribe, or I don't know, just do nothing, just enjoy it and move on, I suppose. We are into the screenshots now. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!